On today's show, we're chasing a long-held dream of rural life.
It's a classic country house with the door in the middle.
Which is something that I've always had a picture of in my head.
So we're pulling out all the stops.
As projects go, I would say this is probably the biggest project I've ever shown in nearly 14 years.
Okay.
Right.
Welcome to Escape to the Country. Today I'm in one of the UK's most popular property hotspots. Behind me you can see the rolling hills of Devon. Now, in the last 6 months, demand here has reached a real high, with many people wishing to relocate from our towns and cities to a new life here in the West Country. In fact, it's said locally that some house hunters have even chartered helicopters to get around so they don't miss out on viewings. That is absolutely astonishing. But if you are lucky enough to be able to fly over this landscape, you will see one of the most beautiful patchworks of the UK.
Situated in the southwest, Devon is one of England's largest counties. House prices here are almost £40,000 above the national average, with detached properties selling at around the £400,000 mark. Although Devon is renowned for its picturesque countryside, only a quarter of the population live rurally, with the biggest employment hotspots being Exeter, Torbay and Plymouth. But if city life isn't for you, and it probably isn't, look to the county's lovely market towns for a slower pace of life without compromising on access to facilities. And South Molton is one such place.
It's just like a step back in time, really, South Molton. Old-fashioned shops, good community feel about it. It's not commercialised and still got the market and everything.
Be it food essentials or interior luxuries for the home, the town's retailers offer a warm welcome.
It's a lovely little town. South Molton's great. It's a real little community. We all know each other and it's really friendly, really friendly little place. I've lived here for most of my life. It's such a great place because we're close to the moors but also close to the sea, and my daughters were brought up going to the beach from about 1 week old for both of them. So yeah, it's fantastic.
Now here's an interesting little escape to the country fact for you. Devon is home to 3 of England's most isolated villages, namely Letterford, Mannerton and Dartmead. Each one of those is some 50 minutes away from its nearest primary school and 2 hours away from their nearest secondary schools. Not ideal for today's family. However, splendid isolation is definitely an attraction for them because they have been thinking about this rural move for a very long time.
When I was a young girl, I used to occasionally be given pocket money by aunts and uncles for ice cream. And I always used to say, no, I'm going to put that in my piggy bank, I'm saving that for a country cottage, because that's something I always wanted.
Despite those sweet childhood dreams, Nina has lived in the town of Hailsham in East Sussex for the past 2 decades. She and husband James moved into their 4-bedroom suburban home 11 years ago.
It's been a very good area to bring the kids up to this stage, but it's got busier.
Much busier.
There's a lot of houses going up. We kind of want to move on from that now. We want our own countryside.
So they've set their sights on Devon, as the couple feel it's the right place for them and their 2 children to really indulge their favourite pastimes.
As a family, we spend a lot of time outdoors. We love walks in the countryside, family bike rides, picnics, camping. It's what we do as a family, the 4 of us, and the children love it.
They love just to have woods.
And a stream.
They enjoy being creative with their imaginations, and the countryside gives them that, and I think we want more of that.
However, there is still one aspect of this property search that's up for debate.
A bigger garden would be great because that's something I've always wanted. A garden where I can have a greenhouse. All my plants are in pots, we're in limbo because I've always known that we're moving on, so it would be nice to finally let them set their roots as well. But not acres and acres.
I like acres. I'd have up to 30 acres if I could and not be scared.
But you won't.
But I won't. It's
No.
not gonna happen.
No, that won't be happening.
We might have 10.
Yeah, who's going to cut the grass?
I could do that.
Really? Okay.
When they first met, the couple were both working as consultants in the transport and logistics industry. Whilst James now runs his own consultancy business that he can operate from anywhere with broadband, Nina has spent the last few years focusing on the children. But she's excited about the entrepreneurial opportunities their new home may bring.
I'm keen to try a completely different lifestyle now when it comes to work and embrace something new, be it a holiday let, but equally if there was land suitable for a campsite, as in eco-camping, glamping, that would be great too. Now's as good a time as any. We don't want to wait until retirement. This is the lifestyle we've always talked about, so you've got to grab your dreams, haven't you, and just go for it.
With a maximum budget of £650,000, they're looking for a detached family home in a peaceful and rural setting, preferably in mid-Devon and with no near neighbours. Inside, they want at least 3 bedrooms, and grounds outside should have enough space for both the kids and Nina's green fingers. Ideally, the property will have an existing holiday let or have scope for glamping options. We've scoured the market to find the best properties their money can buy, but I'll only reveal the price of each house after our couple have had a guess first. The final offering will be the Mystery House, which will scale up their dreams of country life to a stately level.
Well, guys, welcome to Devon. I think it's fair to say, though, you could have picked almost anywhere in the UK to move to at this point in your lives. Why Devon?
We could have picked anywhere, but it's a case of wanting to find a place that's got the rolling green hills, and that's what we want, to fling open the back door of our house, hear the birdsong and see that beautiful greenery.
Now, I know that this move is in some ways motivated by having a plan for a business idea in the future. What kind of options have you considered thus far?
We're looking at possibly glamping, holiday lets potentially.
Oh, we also want to grow some stuff, so who knows, wildflower, cutting garden. So we've got lots of ideas.
Yeah.
It depends on the property as to what will work.
Excellent. Well, we've got your budget in our pockets. Have you also bought the contents of your piggy bank?
I certainly have, yes.
Excellent. Let's spend. Come on, follow me.
We're beginning our house search in the rural village of Wolfardisworthy. Also known as Woolsbury, this is one of the many unusual place names found in this part of the world. The nearest pub lies in the neighbouring village of Black Dog, which is just 2 miles from our first property, making it an ideal destination for a Sunday stroll.
OK, well, we thought we'd start with this then. How about that for a little chocolate box number?
It certainly is.
Oh, that's a corker.
Beautiful.
Like many properties of this sort of age, it has evolved over time. But what you've got now is a really lovely, rambling property. I mean, all that you see is what you get.
That's included there.
Absolutely, that's all part of it.
Wow.
Now, I should point out the thatch, as you can probably tell, is in need of replacement, and it is going to be replaced in the next few weeks, hence the scaffold here.
OK.
So that's a problem you do not need to worry about.
It certainly is very promising.
It looks intriguing.
Right then, let's see what you think. Come this way.
Great.
Dating from the 1600s, this Grade 2 listed thatched cottage is jam-packed with character both outside and in.
Right, well, we'll start with this then, the kitchen. Come on in.
Wow. Homely, very homely, warm.
It's maybe a bit smaller than I thought it might be for a cottage, but I guess it's a size that you can work with.
I've spotted a range. I've never cooked on a range.
Well, this is easy. This is electric, so actually there's nothing, to worry about with that one.
Oh, it's good that it's electric and not on oil.
No, very easy, that.
Yeah. Initially, I thought it's small, but actually there's quite a lot of workspace, isn't there?
Enough room to dance around in the kitchen.
There is. Perfect. Yeah.
And there's a utility room out there too, and all the kids' gear and muddy boots and all the rest of it can go out there too.
Great.
But it leads on through here to the living space. Come and have a look at this. Step down.
Oh,
There's a real sense of the history of this place in this
Yeah.
room, I think.
Oh, this is nice.
love it.
Yeah.
They've decorated it beautifully as well. Really, really lovely. The beams actually look nicely renovated, so they're not too dark and oppressive. I like the window seat too.
And actually, and I know the lights are on, but I still think there's quite a lot of natural light that comes through the windows, particularly on a day like today. It's got a homely feel. This feels good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Adjacent to the living room and kitchen lies a cosy dining area. And across the hallway, at the other end of the cottage, there's a further reception room being used as a snug/study. Also, one of the property's 3 bedrooms is located on the ground floor. We're continuing upstairs, where a large family bathroom and 2 generous doubles are built up into the eaves.
So this is the one we think you would absolutely go for.
Oh yes. Yes. It's
Oh, yeah.
a real character country bedroom.
And it also has quite a generous dressing area too.
Wow.
Plus ensuite shower room around the corner. So you have got a proper suite for yourselves here.
Yes. You could hold a barn dance in there.
I can see through it.
There's loads of storage. You can explore that a little bit later on, but
Okay.
a really useful addition. Not the sort of thing you might always expect to find in an old cottage
No, not at all.
like this one.
It's really well done.
This 17th century property has been transformed into a practical modern home. Outside, the garden extends to 1 1/4 acres.
So here we are, out the back of the property. The gardens for you to explore. It runs up there to that store, which is quite useful, and you can just hear the brook tumbling over a lovely stone weir down there. Loads to explore here.
Okay.
Lovely.
Come on.
This well-established garden has been lovingly landscaped by its owners and includes a patio with barbecue, plus several seating areas with views over the neighbouring countryside. But this plot doesn't end here. To the front of the cottage lies a large open paddock.
I was thinking perhaps a shepherd's hut or something here would be lovely.
That would be beautiful.
I think absolutely there's something that we could do with the land. And I think it's a really good size.
Well, let's think about the price then, shall we? Let's empty your piggy bank.
Right.
How much do you think this is going to cost you, Nina?
Ooh. I hope I'm not being too optimistic. Maybe 575.
Might be a bit optimistic. James?
I think it's a little bit more. I think I'd say about 620.
£620,000. This is currently on the market for an asking price of £650,000.
Oh, okay.
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 Top of our budget.
Yeah, it is the top of your budget, but we are in a very much sought after part of Devon, I think.
We
and this is
are.
an absolute Devonian classic, isn't it?
It is. Certainly given us something to think about, Jules.
At £650,000, this detached thatched cottage in an idyllic rural setting comes with 3 reception rooms and 3 bedrooms, all with beautiful period features throughout. Outside, there's over an acre of garden with scope for glamping, rural views and its very own babbling brook.
Look at this.
That's lovely, isn't it?
I love it.
With fruit trees in the background there.
Gorgeous. Love it. I can imagine living here, definitely. The location is stunning. We're not overlooked. I love the fact that there's the stream down there and it is such a lovely feature of this house.
The kids would love this. They love being outside, they'd love the stream. I think they'd love everything about it. They're not really fussed about the houses, so as long as the outdoor space is good, they're happy.
It's the top of our budget, so we need to crunch some figures, but it's definitely got a lot going for it.
The quintessential cottage for you. There we are. So that's it. Property 1 done. Happy?
Very.
Yeah.
Maybe a contender?
I think so.
Yes.
Good. Keep that
Yes.
thought. Right, more to see though. Follow me.
Great.
In summer months, gardens up and down the UK buzz with the sound of bees. But with insect populations in decline, sadly that hum may not be so prevalent in the future, which would have a catastrophic impact on our environment and our economy. As a keen gardener, it's in Nina's best interest to find out what she can do to help the bees. So we've sent her and James to meet apiarist George Bella Truss at Quince Honey Farm.
So there's been a lot of things in the news recently about bees declining and they're in danger. What's the cause of this?
A big problem is habitat loss. We've lost a lot of wildflower areas and areas that they naturally live in, and other things like disease and pesticides do contribute as well to their decline, unfortunately.
So why are bees so important?
Mainly pollination. They provide a lot of the foods we eat every single day, from fruits, vegetables, even coffee is pollinated by bees, so it's a very important insect.
Without bees, British farmers would have to pay around £1.8 billion each year to pollinate their crops. Of course, that in turn would have an enormous effect on food prices. Growing bee-friendly flowers and herbs is a simple way to support our often fragile ecosystem.
So how do bees actually make honey?
So they're going to go out, they're going to go to the flower, and they're going to go to the nectary, the area of the plant where the nectar is produced, and they're going to put their tongue, or their proboscis, into this nectary. They're going to collect nectar, they're going to store it in their stomach. Bees have 2 stomachs, and this is where the process of nectar to honey begins. So they're going to dehumidify it, they're going to take as much water as they can out of it, and they're also going to add enzymes to it to break down the sugars, to change the chemical structure of the nectar. And they take it back to the hive, where they basically will regurgitate this nectar into another bee, and they're going to put it to their stomach and add enzymes. And this process goes on until they're basically happy that it's dehumidified enough, and then they start to store it in the cells, and they cap it with a layer of wax when it's ready, and you can see the honey underneath.
During the winter, when it's too cold for bees to fly outside, they huddle in their hives for warmth, living off their honey supplies.
So how much honey can one bee make?
So in a worker bee's lifetime, they can make about 1/8 of a teaspoon. It's quite a small amount, but when you've got 60,000 in the hive, it soon adds up.
So honey is an important food supply for the bees. How do we make sure we leave enough for them?
On an average year, you can take up to 18 kilograms surplus honey. But this is a year average. If they don't collect a lot, you've got to make sure you leave enough for them to survive the winter. It's really important to make sure you keep your colonies going and make sure it's a sustainable practice, really.
So if I want to keep bees in our new home, where do I begin?
So one of the best things to do is join your local beekeeping association. They're usually very friendly and very inviting, and they often will let you buddy up. So, you know, they'll show you the workings of the hive and a little bit about them. And other than that, reading is really good. Visiting local bee farms is a good way to learn more about them, really.
Looks like I'll be coming back here then.
That's fantastic.
Nina and James from East Sussex are searching for a new rural family home in Devon with a budget of £650,000. And as they're ideally looking for a property with business opportunity included, I've got my work cut out. Still to come, the mystery house leaves our buyers stumped.
Well. Yes, well indeed, James.
And I flex my woodworking skills to a whole new level.
Now you twist it all the way around so the outsides are facing in, and then we'll clamp it.
The wood is fighting back. I don't blame it. Well, for our final day of house hunting here in Devon with Nina and with James, we have 2 more property treats for them. We're going to finish off today with a mystery house which is every bit to the manor born, although to be fair, it does require a little bit of imagination. We'll see how we get on with that one. But first, a classic Victorian gem that's every bit a family home. What's more, it shouldn't break the budget.
Chebier is the next stop on our house hunting tour of Devon. In the heart of the village lies an 11th century church, a community centre and a pub. Just a 10-minute walk from here is our next property.
Right then. What about this?
That is really attractive house.
It's a classic country house with the door in the middle.
Which is something that I've always had a picture of in my head.
I'm really glad you've said that, because I think this one really goes to the heart of that sense of a classic traditional family home.
Sounds good?
Yeah?
Yes.
Perfect. Right then, let's go and have a look.
Lovely.
This handsome Victorian property was built in the 1870s for the headmaster of the neighbouring school. Over the last 10 years, it's been sensitively renovated to bring it into the 21st century.
Right, come on in, look at this. You've got the original Victorian hallway floor there.
Lovely feature.
Yeah. And then you've got this huge family space. You've still got the fireplace there.
I love the windows over there. They're huge, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's got a nice feel to it.
And then behind us, over the hallway, another reception room. Very elegant, very pretty. So in terms of grown-up space, kiddie space, you can work
Lovely.
it out.
Yeah.
As the children get older, it would be great for them to have a separate space so that they, as teenagers, can have their friends around. So this would work well for that. It feels very much a family space.
Well, there is plenty more family space with this one.
Cool.
Come and have a look through here.
Great.
So with this work, this is a sort of similar size actually to what we've already seen in terms of kitchen space.
Yes.
There's plenty of workspace.
It's a good size. It's probably about the same size as the kitchen we've got at home. In fact, probably bigger.
And utility room behind you as well. So
Okay.
all the kind of business end of washing machines, etc., that's all out there. And again, very handy.
It's got a homely feel to it. And I think you sort of settle into it quite quickly.
Well, talking of settling in, there is one feature I think you're going to love as a family.
Oh.
Yeah, it's right through here.
Built onto the side of the property less than a decade ago, a dramatic garden room provides additional living space.
This is lovely.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Really nicely done.
I think you spend a huge amount of time in here.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. This is lovely because you feel like the outdoors is in and you're protected from the elements. You haven't got the wind and the rain, but you can enjoy the outdoors all year round.
Absolutely.
It's a gorgeous room. Love it.
Good. Your turn now to go and explore upstairs.
Okay.
I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Oh.
And, you know, keep going up, because at the very top of the house, you'll find the master suite. But go via the first floor, see what the kids get, and I will find you a little bit later on.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
After you.
Up on the first floor is a large family bathroom, along with 4 of the property's 5 bedrooms. The smallest one is used for storage, whilst the rest are all similarly sized doubles.
Oh, wow, yeah. Flooded with natural light, isn't it? I really like it in here. It's really nice.
Yeah, lovely and sunny. Big space. This is like an apartment.
Very nice. I'd be happy with that.
We'll shut ourselves away from the kids, that's it.
Yeah.
Lovely bit of space for us.
It is. It feels like a sanctuary up here, doesn't it?
It does.
Outside, the private front lawn is edged with mature borders and fruit trees. To the rear lies a kitchen garden with raised beds and a greenhouse. There are a number of options for alfresco dining in the grounds and some useful outbuildings, including a substantial timber garage with a carport.
So, what about the master suite then?
Wow.
That's really something.
Yes.
We just need a hatch to close on the upstairs so that we won't get disturbed.
Good. Let's have a think about the price then. £650,000 you have, Nina. Go on.
I am going to say 610.
£610,000, yeah, okay.
I'm going to say it's probably around the 595.
It could be yours for £565,000.
Wow.
Lost for words, literally.
Yeah, did not see that coming. Yeah,
It's an interesting proposition.
it is.
Now you know what it's on the market for, though. Go and explore and enjoy this house.
We will. Thank you.
I'll see you later.
At a welcome £85,000 below budget, this detached Victorian property at the edge of a village presents large and luxurious spaces for a growing family, with 3 receptions and 5 bedrooms. The garden is pleasant and private, with a variety of options for outdoor entertaining.
As a family home, it's really, really good.
I think the garden is a little bit smaller than we'd hoped
Yeah.
for. And I think certainly from your point of view as a gardener,
Yeah, my idea of moving to the country is to have more green space. So the house is lovely, but it's not so much about the house for this move, it's more about the outdoor space and the lifestyle outside.
I just don't think there's enough space to stretch our legs.
No.
Right then, you two. Gonna whisk you away
Oh,
because we have one more property to come.
excellent.
Come on then.
Great.
In a recent survey, Devon was ranked as one of the top 3 most colourful places in the UK. The region boasts 26 public gardens, including these at Marwood Hill, which even in autumn are beautifully vibrant. But you don't have to live here to enjoy these landscapes. In the nearby village of Bratton Fleming on the edge of Exmoor, it's possible to rent this cosy shepherd's hut as a holiday let. Perhaps it's somewhere that might inspire our buyers and their aspirations for the country move. This one sleeps 2 people, has an indoor kitchen as well as barbecue facilities in its private garden, and is priced from £85 a night. For those planning on a longer stay in Devon, how about becoming a resident of a village within the Dartmoor National Park by renting this gorgeous double-fronted character cottage? It comes with 3 bedrooms and costs £900 per calendar month. Our final destination is the village of Lamerton, not too far from the Cornish border. It's a delightful location surrounded by glorious countryside with characterful period properties and a local pub. Leaving our couple to explore what's on offer in the area, I'm going on ahead to make my way to our last property.
Right then, I'm going to give you a little sneak preview of our mystery house. This is it. Look at that. Pretty bruising, pretty impressive and pretty big. The one thing I haven't really talked to James and Nina about is whether or not they fancy the idea of taking on a project. If they do, this is probably a lifetime's job.
The oldest parts of this astonishing stately pile date back to the 17th century. And over the years, it's been lived in by several notable local dignitaries.
There are some really intriguing historic elements to this place, this pretty little courtyard being but one of them, but there's no getting away from the fact this would be a real labour of love.
This property is unlike anything we've viewed so far, and I can't wait to hear what Nina and James make of it.
So, this is our mystery house. What do you think?
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
Actually, is it the whole house?
Yeah. And there's as much again behind it.
Really?
Right.
So I was wondering if you were both up for a project.
Ah, there's the mystery.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
How much of a project?
9-bedroom project with 1.75 acres.
Wow.
As projects go, I would say this is probably the biggest project I've ever shown on Escape to the Country in nearly 14 years.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
I'm good with a paintbrush.
Yeah. And I'm good at knocking down walls.
Well, those 2 things are a great start. Come and have a look.
The bell tower, along with the Gothic windows, were added during the early 1800s. Both are protected by the property's Grade 2 star listing. And as you'd expect, a grand entrance hall leads us into the original part of the building.
Well.
Yes, well indeed, James. Well, yes, James.
Lovely fireplace. Jules, is it fair to say it needs a little bit of work?
Tiny bit. But imagine this as an entrance hall.
Oh, actually, this place really could sing if it's done well.
Well, it's a good starting point.
Come on, come to here.
The ground floor rooms are empty shells, but they come complete with some beautiful features that could be lovingly restored. Fanning off from the centre of the property are 3 wings. To the right there are 2 large reception rooms, and to the left 2 smaller spaces ideal for a study and snug. The wing that extends to the rear is currently earmarked as a kitchen and dining area.
So this is the right-hand wing of the building as we looked at it from outside. But this wall here, like so many in this building, is just guff.
Right.
That is my technical term for irrelevant plasterboard walls that can go. Because if you got rid of that, you would open this room up and you would have two of those gorgeous, enormous windows filling this room with light.
Great.
The sky's the limit.
It is. I'm not actually thinking of it as a family home though. This building is crying out to be made into a beautiful guest house or boutique hotel. It's too stunning to be used just as a family home. Can we see more?
Absolutely. Go on, help yourselves.
Lovely, thank you.
See if you can get lost. Because I can assure you they undoubtedly will. In every way you look in here, when you see past the chaos, you see some brilliant architectural details. Look at this gorgeous door reveal, and this amazing sweeping staircase. They've even still got the bell that was originally cast in Tavistock for the bell tower. This is a massive undertaking, but it's one that I would be really excited by, and I'm beginning to think that maybe they will too. I wonder how they're getting on. Taking their time, aren't they?
The upstairs is arranged with 9 bedrooms, each with its own loo or ensuite. Whilst 5 are generous doubles, the smaller single rooms could be knocked through to make 2 larger bedrooms.
So this is the main bedroom.
And it's a great space.
It's huge, and you've got the character window there as well. Look at that.
Fantastic windows.
Curved ceiling.
Yeah, and you've got the ensuite there.
This would be a great space. Imagine this as a master bedroom.
You know, I think this is my favourite part of this building. This is the old service courtyard. This is where all the scullery maids and all of that sort of thing would have gone on servicing this once grand manor house. Is it growing on you?
Yes.
Not literally.
Well, the garden might. Come and have a look at this.
The cobbled courtyard is surrounded by useful outbuildings which will be handy with 1 3/4 acres to maintain. A mature garden to the rear is predominantly lawned with a small orchard.
I think the view from here is really interesting. It's more like a farmhouse from here than a manor house, isn't it?
It is.
Wow, it's a big project though, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is.
it is.
It is.
We're still a little bit speechless.
So should we talk about the price?
I think so.
Go on then, off you go.
There's clearly a lot of work that needs doing. I think I'm going to go with 625.
Okay. Nina?
I'm going to say 640.
It's currently on the market for £650,000.
Yeah.
That £650,000 that you have clearly needs to be added to transform this.
Yeah.
It could be done in phases. I don't think it's out of reach necessarily if you were absolutely head over heels in love with this prospect. Go and enjoy it, wander around, soak up the history.
We will.
Get creative, and I'll come and find you before it gets dark.
Yeah, lovely.
Thanks, Jules.
Thanks, Jules.
Off you go.
At £650,000, this mystery manor, ripe for renovation, is an incredible proposition with its 4 reception rooms and 9 bedrooms. And with just under 2 acres outside, it does offer tremendous scope.
The opportunities here are incredible.
Yes. To try and see it as a place for us to live in is very difficult.
And actually, the amount of money that it needs to get to the standard that we'd want it probably means it's sort of out of reach for us. But I can see how it could be a fabulous place.
Yeah.
Bamboozled?
Yes.
Broke?
Yes, very broke.
OK, guys, that's it. You've seen all the properties we had lined up for you. Ready to go think?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Very good. Come on.
For our buyers, their escape is all about the great outdoors. And during my week in Devon, I took time out of our house search to meet artisan John Spain, who works to bring the outside in. He uses wood and steam to create interior design pieces with a contemporary twist.
Hello, John. Nice to see you.
Hello.
This all looks brilliant. I've never really seen anybody bending wood using steam before, but it's clearly an art that you've taken to a new level, really.
I wanted something completely off the wall and contemporary, so I thought I've got to do something different, and how much more different can bending wood be?
Well, I can't help it any longer. I have to go in there and just see what you're doing, because I do love a workshop. Come on, show me around. Wow, John, this is great. This is absolutely my kind of place. Look at that. You really have tied that in a knot. That's incredible. That's a really good demonstration of just how flexible the wood can be once you've steamed it.
It certainly is. It's amazing how far you can actually bend a solid item that originally you don't think is supposed to be bent.
Using oak and ash, John creates all sorts of beautiful things, including tables, shelves, and even Christmas trees. But today, we're trialling a new lampshade design.
So the wood's in there. How long has it been in the steamer for?
It's been in there for now a couple of hours, just getting up to temperature of 100 degrees C.
You've got to get it to 100 degrees.
That's roughly where the natural glues of the wood will start melting, and then it allows you to sort of manipulate it to whatever you want to do with it.
So did you make these steamers yourself?
Yes, they're not something that you can normally buy over the counter, so you just go online, get some ideas, and just knock them together.
Brilliant. You must have hands of steel. I'm amazed you just pulled it out at 100 degrees. Just
That's
like
what the
that.
pliers are for.
That's incredible. Actually, it's not that hot to the touch, is it? I thought it would be scalding, but it's pretty amenable. So I guess we should probably get on with this while it's still got some heat in it. So what do we do? Pick that up together. Yep. And then which one of these?
Just use the
top one.
Pull it around, and then you're just trying to cross your hands over.
Oh, OK, to get it round the other.
Yeah. So
like that.
You're just trying to overbend it.
Fantastic. Look at that. That's so simple. And if I take that off, oh, the bend is in already.
Yep. And then if you take it off,
so how do you get it out? Just lay that.
Open it up flat.
Oh, there we are.
Take it out.
Look at that.
Now you twist it all the way around so the outsides are facing in.
So the outsides are facing in,
and then we'll clamp it.
Like that?
Yes.
The wood is fighting back. I don't blame it. Oh, look at that. There we are. A very simple twist.
It is very simple. Because what we're doing is free bending. So we're just bending it, putting a form into it, and then we're sort of manipulating it and then holding it until it goes dry.
So how many more of those elements do we need for the
We need
shade?
4 in total.
Right then. OK. I've got the hang of it now. Let's have another go then.
As well as this free bending technique, John also uses a variety of jigs and formers to sculpt his creations. But regardless of the method, the wood must be left to cool so it will hold its shape.
It's very satisfying, isn't it? And such lovely, graceful shapes. There's a natural symmetry to what you do with this, isn't there? Which I think is lovely.
Certainly is.
With all 4 elements created, they're ready to be attached to a base.
This is great. I just can't wait to see the form of it. There we go.
And rather than screws, nails or pins, John prefers to use wooden dowels to secure his pieces.
It is nice that there are no metal joints in these, though.
I just like the idea of just keeping everything as simple as possible.
And I suppose as it continues to sort of dry and cure, it just tightens.
It tightens up and goes a lot more solid.
Although John has a very contemporary approach to wood bending, this is a traditional technique that's been used for centuries to build boats, lacrosse sticks and even violins.
Go on, give it a tap and see. Oh, no, there we go. Right, that's okay. We'll just fit that one back in there. It's holding.
Excellent. And there you have.
Look at that.
A light shade.
That is great fun. What do you think of our new creation?
It's perfect. Sort of, it's very original.
I think it's perfectly imperfect, probably, but I like it.
That's the great thing about this artisan stuff. It's there to be pushed around, pulled, until you like the shapes.
Well, it's fun, but it's also hugely inspiring. Well done, mate. Yeah, okay. It's all right, isn't it? Well, as you can probably see over my shoulder, James and Nina are deep in conversation, trying to come to terms with everything we have shown them this week. We have taken them on quite a roller coaster of a journey. Let's go and see if we have managed to find them a property for their future. Well, how are we doing? First thing, have you enjoyed the process?
Thoroughly enjoyed it, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been really great experience.
Yeah.
So of the properties that we showed you, was there an out-and-out favourite?
One definitely stands out for me.
Yeah?
I absolutely fell in love with the first property.
Did you know?
I did. To begin with, it surprised me actually because it was near a road, which is the one thing we said we didn't want. But as we went round, it started to grow on me, and by the end of it, I'd spent enough time there to realise it was just such a lovely property, and I really did love it.
I love that property as well. It felt very homely,
Yeah.
very comfortable.
Yeah.
It was us.
Yes.
But I also love the parcel of land at the front. I think we could probably work with that somehow, couldn't we?
Definitely.
But we need to, I think, consider it because it's right at the top end of the budget. So if there's anything that we want to perhaps do with the house, we need to give that some thought, I think.
Yeah. OK, so possibly a second viewing, maybe?
We're going to come back in just a couple of weeks, so it's certainly one I'd like to go back to.
Well, I hope we have managed to help you, as I say, focus your search with a little more clarity, you know, and we wish you the best of luck. Just let us know what you do over the next few months.
We will.
We
Thanks,
will do,
Jules.
yeah.
Well, as I said at the beginning of this programme, Devon has long been a hotspot for so many people wishing to escape to the country. The landscape, the property market here never fails to work its magic, and it's done exactly that this week for James and for Nina. Now, I suspect their search may go on a little further, but there is no doubt they are going to be here very soon, and I wish them all the very best of luck. I'll see you next time.